Welcome to Courageous 2019. This is the yearly broadcast to thousands of students all over the world where we talk about workplace health and safety.
Our goal is to start a movement of people all over the world who make the decision to stand up to unsafe work. People who understand that they can make a difference.
Now there might be some of you watching today who maybe hear that this is a broadcast about health and safety and immediately think to yourself, great, now I can go to sleep. I know that this is true because a number of years ago when I was speaking to a high school audience of about 1,500 people on a Monday morning, the principal got up, it was probably, 8 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's eyes were kind of opened. The principal got up and he said, today we're going to have a really good assembly. It's going to be about health and safety. And I expected a polite golf clap. But instead, this one girl in the first or second row got her hands out like this, and I thought she was ready to really cheer me on, like I finally become a celebrity. Instead, she put her hands like this and went, boring. And in that moment, before I died, basically, I recognized something really important, that for many people, health and safety is A, not something they ever think about, but B, if they do think about it, what they think about is like nothing.
Yeah, this is the problem that we're up against. This is the reality. A lot of people, in fact, most people haven't really thought about the impact of unsafe work. Like if we were to ask 100 people what the most significant problems facing our world today are, not many people would say unsafe work is a part of that list.
But the reality is, we would all be wrong. Every 15 seconds, a person dies from a work-related accident or disease. In the time it takes you to watch this short video, 4 people will die of a work-related death. While that might not mean much to you, for millions of families, the consequences will be devastating. Unsafe work across the globe is an untold problem that needs to be solved. But a problem cannot be solved until the magnitude of the problem is revealed. Globally, 2.3 million people will die this year from a work-related accident or disease. This accounts for more deaths than car accidents, HIV/AIDS, dementia, diabetes, and even war. And yet, most people don't even know that unsafe work is an issue. Every 15 seconds, someone dies in a workplace accident or from a work-related disease. And all of this happens while most of us don't even know that it's happening. And it doesn't just affect the person who's working. It affects the family, the friends, the co-workers who are connected to that person in profound and life-changing ways. I think the reality is we know about this very closely because it has affected our family and our own brother who was killed in a workplace accident. And if you've ever heard us tell our story, maybe you would think that, oh, this only happens to a few people. But every night, many families will be faced with the reality that their loved one is never coming home. And the more that we recognize this, the more that this changes our perspective. I know before our brother was killed, I never once thought about workplace safety. I never thought about it at all. I didn't recognize that in Canada alone, tonight, 3 people won't come home from their jobs. And if you add that up day after day, week after week, month after month, that becomes too many people. We do know, though, that it is stories that change people's minds. People don't get changed by statistics, but stories stay with us and impact us. So today we've invited our dad to once again tell the story of our brother, and our hope is that as you listen to it, that it would not only impact your heart, but that it would change the way that you work.
I've just got a call from my wife at 10 o'clock in the morning, and she said, Rob, you need to get over to the hospital really quick. Our 18-year-old son, David, has been in a really bad accident. So I want you as students to come with me, and on this journey, I cannot make it alone. I need your help. Think of somebody that you love, first of all. It might be a friend, it might be a mom or a dad or an aunt or an uncle. Think of somebody that you love, and now both of us, let's get into the car. We'll drive over to the hospital where you live. driving to the parking lot and you look over your shoulder and there's the doctor waiting for you to get out of the car. I don't really want to go on this journey, so if you can take the lead on this, please do. We walk down together to the hospital, and there you shake the doctor's hand, and the doctor says, "Come with me. I want to show you where your loved one is." You walk down the corridor of the hospital, and your knees begin to shake. You don't really know what you're going to be looking at, or you don't know what you're going to be seeing. You don't know what you're going to be saying. You're scared. You walk down, and there in that room where your loved one is, you are looking at a person who is desperately fighting for life. Let me describe to you what I'm seeing through my eyes. My 18-year-old son, Dave, he's lying on the bed. His blood is on the floor. His blood is on the walls. His shoes are absolutely full of his blood. And he's absolutely desperate for life. My son, Dave, is looking for help, and I cannot give him any help. The doctors look at you and look at me and say, "Please get out of this room right now. We need to move your loved one to the next largest hospital by helicopter." And you get out quickly, but you're in a state of shock. Run out to the parking lot, get into your car, and you drive to the next hospital. And your loved one is there already. And for 6 days you hope and pray that your loved one will be able to pull through and the doctors will be able to help, but they cannot. At the end of the 6th day, the doctor comes up to you and says, "I'm really very sorry, we're going to have to take your loved one off the life support machine." The hardest thing now is to go back and talk to your family and friends and say to them that your loved one cannot come home. It's a really difficult time. And I really don't want you to have to go through the agony, the anguish that we've gone through in losing our 18-year-old son, Dave. He had a great positive outlook in life and simply wanted to be a great employee. Took a job on a local bakery, and unfortunately he did not get any orientation or any training and was left alone on the floor of the bakery the 2nd day of his job on his job. The supervisor decided to take an early lunch and left him alone working on the large piece of industrial equipment. And unfortunately, my son didn't realize that this equipment did not have any safety equipment on the piece that he was working on. No guards and no lockouts on it. The government had come in and inspected the place 18 months before and found that there needed to be guards and there needed to be lockouts on this machine. Unfortunately, the employer did not inform Dave, did not tell him that the guards and lockouts needed to be on the machine. And my son has such a great attitude. He wanted to please the boss, not ask any questions. He went hard to work. And somehow, some way, a power surge came through on the machine, through that big industrial mixer. And without any guards or lockouts on the machine, my son was pulled into the mixer. Into those sharp blades of the mixer, and he had no chance whatsoever. It was a horrible loss, a terrible loss, and it should never ever have happened. And that's why I'm here today. I don't want you to ever work for an employer that does not give you the right orientation, the right training, that does not allow you to give feedback to them so that they can improve. I want you to work for an employer that will give you respect. And this is really what it's all about. It is respect. Employers need to respect young workers. They need to respect new workers. They need to give you an opportunity to be engaged in their team, and they need to equip you. They need to give you those opportunities. I know that you can change the world. We'll change the world together. Thank you.
So we do these videos and broadcasts because ultimately we don't want anyone to have to go through what our family went through. We don't want anyone watching today to lose their life because of work or lose a family member because of work. But it goes beyond workplace deaths. Every day people around the world are injured at work, and those injuries can have devastating effects.
Every year, millions of people are being injured. And these aren't just small injuries. Many times, these are life-altering injuries that change the direction and course of someone's life forever. If I were to put it into a statistic, it would be like every single year, the entire population of the United States is injured at work. These are unacceptable numbers to have in the 21st century. The reality is, workplace safety matters. There are millions of people living with the consequences of a job gone wrong. And right now we want to introduce you to Samuel Livingston. He is a person who was injured with very serious and life-changing consequences. Listen to his story.
My name is Samuel Livingstone. I currently work as the BC Occupational and Safety Advisor for Canadian Contracting, an industrial construction company in Canada. I've been with Canadian Contracting for 3 years now, but I've been in construction in one way or another for the last 22 years. The injury was 23 years ago. I was 19 years old. It was in November of 1995. I was a first-year carpentry apprentice working in Pemberton, BC. On the day of the injury, I was installing some microlam headers over some doorways using a nail gun, a big spike nail gun, coil nail gun. And in the process of doing that, we think it's actually the wire that connects the rounds. We're not 100% sure because nothing was embedded, but it came up, it shot, went into my eye, my left eye, made an actual slice, so it had a C-shaped cut on the surface of the eye. My lens from that eye fell out, and after that I was quickly sent off to the clinic and in the hospital for emergency surgeries. It was 19 months in recovery from the accident before I was back to work. I was over 20 hours on the operating table with various surgeries, retina surgery, cornea surgery, glaucoma surgery, and including cornea transplant, which I've had repeated ones over the years. Well, the injury has had obviously a major effect. It's a permanent disability. I cannot see on my left side. I've lost that peripheral vision, as well as I lost depth perception. So something as simple as actually hitting a nail on the head every time is much more difficult. Your body can't compensate. It doesn't get that right distance exactly right every single time. So the body's had to learn to adjust to a different way of doing it. And I'm not as accurate or as fast in those type of tasks as I used to be. Anyone can do this if they try, close one eye and try to grab something. Your body doesn't do it quite as quickly. You'd be surprised how many things are hard. Sometimes a simple thing of a cashier handing you back your card, you go to grab it and you grab just a little short because you just haven't adjusted the depth right. In addition to that, I have low-level headaches for my entire life, always from the side. There's always a low-level amount of pain that I'm getting from that. And as well, it's just meant ongoing and continual surgeries about every 5 years or so because of the injury. As a result of my accident, I have glaucoma, which is a buildup of pressure in the eye because my drain got plugged in the injury. One thing I have as a result of that is a Maltino. That's this plastic thing on the side of my eye that acts as a septic field to help drain the pressure. This injury could have very simply been prevented by wearing eye protection. And the sad and unfortunate thing about this accident was it was a requirement even back then to wear eye protection when using a nail gun. But as a young apprentice carpenter, no one had ever told me that I need to wear eye protection when using a nail gun. I've never received that instruction. If I had been told that, I would have been wearing it. This messaging is primarily to young and new workers coming into construction, high school students starting their first job. The biggest and most important thing is to ask questions, get training, and really think about what you're doing before you do it. Most senior workers are more than happy to give training and share their experience with the young workers. It's just a matter a lot of times of asking for it. The question, the way things are always done, is a very important thing. Many young workers are very reluctant to do this because they don't want to be seen as not a team player. They want to be seen as a go-getter. So they're sometimes reluctant to stand up for their rights. I work now as a health and safety advisor My job is to work with the site teams and the contractors to ensure that the processes, the planning are in place to ensure that workers are protected from injuries, that they have not only the information but the tools and the equipment to protect themselves from risks so that we don't have injuries like mine or others on the worksite.
Hi everyone! Did you know that every province in Canada has a workplace compensation board? In Ontario, our compensation board is called the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board, or the WSIB. At the WSIB, we know that even model employees can get hurt at work.
Help me!
Help me!
Help me!
Help me!
Help me! Oh wait, never mind.
Help me!
Injuries can happen at any workplace, and there are lots of questions you can ask to help you practice safe work. Here's our workplace health and safety quiz to help you learn more. First question: how do I find out about health and safety rules at work? What do you think the right answer is? Is it A, Google it, B, talk to my coworkers and learn by watching what they do, or C, talk to my boss or health and safety representative? The answer is C. Talk to your boss or health and safety representative. You have the right to know about workplace hazards. Following safety procedures is going to help keep you safe at work. Your safety is always the #1 priority. Let's take a look at another video about our model employees.
Hey, can you take my shift tomorrow? Jinx! Double jinx! Double jinx, no takesy backsies! Crap.
So I guess you can't take my shift tomorrow?
We got another question for you. Do I have the right to refuse unsafe work? A, not if I've already been trained. B, yes, 100%, always. Or C, if my coworkers refuse the work, then I can too. The right answer is B. You always have the right to refuse work that you think is unsafe. Talk to your supervisor, ask for help, or ask for more training. Your boss can't take action against you or treat you unfairly for raising safety concerns. And now, one last video.
Ah, crap, my ex.
Where?
Don't look. Okay, look. No, wait, don't look. Okay, look, but like, don't look.
Whatever.
Oh my God! Jackie! I can't believe you looked!
Thanks for joining us, everyone. If you want to know more about workplace safety or just to watch more videos, visit practicesafework.ca.
So we've talked about workplace deaths and injuries, but there's another issue that for some people makes life a living hell, and that issue is workplace harassment. Workplace harassment is about psychological safety, and psychological safety is just as important as physical safety.
When we talk about psychological safety, what we're saying is that you have the right to work in an environment where your mental safety is also regarded as important. A few years ago, psychological safety was hardly talked about at all. It was just sort of implied that you had to put up with it if you had a boss that bullied you or you were mentally pushed too hard at work. You just had to put up with it. But then things started changing, and things like the Me Too movement began, waking people up to the fact that they didn't have to put up with lack of respect in the workplaces. There's a lot of examples of psychological health in the workplace or lack of psychological health, and one of these could include harassment. Maybe you've been harassed at work, and another one could include bullying. In some places, that has been a real reality, or even just the idea that you're overworked. Every time I'm out speaking, I hear another story of someone who has been harassed or bullied, and I'm reminded that while as a society we've made some progress on this front, we are not there yet.
Yeah, man, this is going on my 3rd year.
Cool.
I actually worked here, what, a year and a half before Livia. How did you meet Livia?
Oh, we used to go surfing together.
Really?
Yeah.
Surfing? Surfing camp? It's kind of hot. You and Livia, little bikinis, waves crashing on the shore, trying to keep them up. With all the talk that happens here, believe me, I was being subtle saying that. Because the guys in here, it's a lot. Did Livia kind of give you
it's
rundown?
Yeah, it's not my first time bartending, so.
It's a sausage party in here.
It's fine. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam.
Thanks.
Welcome. Guys are going to be coming up to you all the time, I can already tell.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. Know about that. They're going to be like, hey, sexy you got going on over there. Does that sexy have a telephone number I can call?
Oh, God.
I'm serious, and I'm telling you, I'm being subtle. Because some of the guys are way worse than that, and they don't always just use their words, you know what I mean?
No, I know. I mean, it's part of the job. It happens, you know.
Yeah. Because you know guys, they'll be getting drunk, and they think they can have whatever they want, you know, the whole grab them by the thing, and then it's like out of nowhere, they're like, boom, right there. You know what I mean, though?
Yeah, no, I get it. You like, fully, like, grab.
I was totally showing you how to. Well, here, look. Let's make things even. Go ahead, grab my hand. Grab it. Grab it. I do squats.
No, don't be stupid. It's
fine.
Fine. It's totally fine.
All right. Suit yourself.
I don't care.
Okay, cool. Are you sure you don't care?
Yes, seriously.
Because for a second there, you turned around like you were gonna give me, literally, some feminist rant. And I'm the biggest feminist there is that I know.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I love women. Sam, are you sure we're cool?
Yeah, no, we're fine.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Totally.
You really seem cool. You seem super cool. And if anybody does grab your, they come up here, just tell them. Seriously, most guys will listen. Just say, dude, hands off. If that guy won't listen, come and get me, and I'll make sure that son of a gets out of here.
Okay, I will.
Yo, what's up, Mo? That's our DJ, Mo. So, last thing,
yeah,
is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is gonna get a little bit loud in here. So, your customers are gonna have a hard time hearing you. So you may want to.
What?
Make sure they don't get too close. And I've seen worse. Seriously. It's crazy. I'm gonna go change the kegs out, okay?
Okay.
Are you being harassed at work? Maybe you have a boss who's a jerk or a creepy coworker, but you're not sure if it's actually harassment. Let's quickly talk about 3 types of harassment that happen a lot: workplace violence, sexual harassment, and bullying. Workplace violence includes any type of hitting, pushing, or kicking, but there doesn't need to be actual physical contact. Workplace violence also includes verbal threats and threatening actions like shaking a fist in your face. Remember, if someone hurts you at work or you're in immediate danger, call 911. Secondly, sexual harassment. Sexual harassment includes any type of unwanted touching, sexual jokes, and creepy staring. It can also include things like sharing or talking about pornography at work, or having someone invade your personal space. If someone at work is making inappropriate comments about your body, gender, or sexual orientation, it's sexual harassment. Thirdly, bullying. It's sad but true, bullies are everywhere, even at work sometimes. Bullying includes any behavior that's meant to embarrass, intimidate, or insult you. It includes spreading rumors about you or sabotaging your work to make you look bad. If your boss or coworker swears at you or makes mean comments that make you feel small or steals your things, you may be working with a bully. Let's return to the question. Are you being harassed at work? Are you facing workplace violence, sexual harassment, or bullying? If so, take action. Step 1. Write it down, immediately. Include as many details as you can remember. What happened? When did it happen? Where did it happen? Who was there? How did it make you feel? Then, collect any type of evidence of harassment you might have, like text messages, emails, pictures, timesheets, or schedules. Step 2. Speak out. Tell your boss what happened. If your boss is harassing you, tell your boss's boss. If your company has an HR department, tell someone from HR immediately. Unite with your coworkers. Together, your voice is louder, and chances are you aren't the only person being harassed. By speaking out, you could be helping a bunch of your coworkers who are also being harassed by the same person. The most important thing is that you don't keep it to yourself. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or doctor about the situation. Step 3. If things don't change and you're still being harassed, you might want to start looking for another job, or quit your job altogether. If you're not sure, talk to someone you trust about the situation. In some cases, you should speak with a lawyer. You should speak with a lawyer if the harassment won't stop. You had to quit your job because you were being harassed, or if you were fired from your job for speaking out about harassment. To find a free lawyer in your area, search for a legal aid clinic. Call and say that you have a problem at work. Always remember, you're worth more than a paycheck. Don't work for someone who doesn't respect you. If you're being harassed at work, or your work is unsafe, and you've spoken out but nothing is changing, you should think about quitting your job. Take some lessons from this guy.
All right, ready? Okay, my name's I've worked in this hotel, the Providence Renaissance, for 3.5 years. They treat us like and I'm going to go in and quit right now with the help of my bandmates in the What Cheer Brigade. Woo! Alright, so here we go through the employee entrance. But hide with trumpets. Yeah.
Head information.
What the hell is this?
Guys, what is this? Guys, all of you out right now.
Jared, I'm here to tell you that I'm quitting.
What?
Recently I was at a high school and a young man, an amazing young guy, 17 years old, came up to me and said, how do I get started in trying to find a job? And I said to him, I want you to get connected with a really good employer. There are a couple of things I want you to look for. Number one is great employers always provide amazing orientations. I mean, they make you feel really comfortable. They take the time to walk you around the work site. They connect you with people that you can ask any questions with. They show you places where you might, where it might be dangerous. They give you the proper orientation until you feel comfortable. They don't rush you through it. They make sure that you feel comfortable. The other thing that a really good employer does is they give you the proper training, not just at the very beginning, but throughout the time that you're working there. They maybe link you with in a buddy system, link you up with somebody who's more experienced than you, and that system actually works very, very well. But good employers will look after you and will give you the proper training before you even start working. The third thing is great employers are looking for your feedback, especially in the first 30 days where you bring a whole new set of eyes to the workplace and you see things that maybe other people have missed. I want you to give feedback to your employers, not only in the first 30 days, but for the whole time you're there. Great employers are looking for you to feed back information to them so they can improve. I'll give you a couple examples. If you're on the work site and The pace of the work is just a little bit too fast. I want you to be courageous. I want you to stick up your hand. I want you to ask for help. Or maybe you're on a work site where somebody is bullying you mentally, physically. I want you to not be silent. I want you to be courageous. Stand up and put up your hand and say, that has got to stop. That kind of conduct has got to come to an end. We have got to put a stop to that. But I need your help. I need you to be courageous and stand up and say, we can make a difference.